The easiest way to clean out your trash can by far is just to use some toilet bowl cleaner. It works really well because it's made to cling to the sides of your toilet, so it works really well to cling down the entire rim of your garbage can and kind of get rid of anything that's stuck on it. It also works well because it does contain bleach, so it's going to sanitize, it's going to kill all those germs that are going on, festering in your trash can. So I will just put it on here just like this. Let it sit, let it work its way down into the bottom of the trash can. Sometimes I'll just give it a little spray just like that in the bottom just to make sure that some gets down there. I'm gonna let this sit for a little bit. It does smell like bleach, depending on what kind of toilet bowl cleaner you're using. It's going to, I mean, mine contains bleach, so it's gonna smell a little bit like bleach. You can turn on your vent hood. You can go ahead and set this outside while it kind of does its thing. I'm gonna let it sit, let it marinate for probably 5 minutes or so. Come back and spray it out with either my hose or in my bathtub or something, and then I'm just going to put on a pair of gloves and scrub it. You could also just use a regular toilet brush to go. So my trash can has been sitting for a couple minutes. I want to show you guys how I finished this off. I just grabbed this mason jar here, filled it up with water, dumped it in around all 4 of my sides. Obviously all the water's sitting on the bottom now. I did put on a pair of gloves. These do have these scrubbies on them. Got these from Walmart. I really enjoyed them. However, I am going to use the sponge for this. I just have this old cleaning sponge I'm going to use, but then I'll just take it and start rubbing all the sides, kind of going down in that water where the solution is with the toilet bowl cleaner, coming all the way up, making sure to get all those particles. I do want to say I do have 3 kids, all 5 and under, so spills happen in here very regularly when they're throwing things away or scraping dinner plates or something like that. So it does happen quite often. Plus my trash can really does stink. It sees a lot of things, especially with diapers and stuff. I'm sure you guys relate. Garbage cans are just a nasty place, so this is just how I like to go ahead and scrub it. Now, that being said, if you wanted to, you could dump this water with the toilet bowl cleaner right in your toilet, flush it, it's like it never happened. Just rinse it out with your hose, or you can rinse it out in your shower and your bathtub, dump it down your bathtub drain. You could do it in your sink if you have one of those faucets that kind of pulls out, and you could spray off all the sides. That's the way I usually do it, and I just dump it down my sink, and then I'll just sterilize my sink after. It's really up to you. You could dump this out in your yard if you know you don't care or whatever, but I wouldn't dump it anywhere your kids or your pets could get into. But that's how I use toilet bowl cleaner to clean different areas of my house. Now that I have a little bit there, I'm actually just going to take this toothbrush. I save old gross toothbrushes for cleaning, or I buy them when they're on clearance or from the Dollar Tree or something. I'm just going to let this sit along here now that I have it all kind of up and around. I'm going to let this sit, same thing, for a couple minutes. I'm going to come back, scrub it a little bit more, wipe it away, and it'll be pretty much good to go. It works really well for getting up underneath right in these little crevices, and it works well because I feel like I don't have to get my hands dirty, especially when I'm working with bleach, and it just sits in there so nicely. Like I said, this stuff is made to cling to whatever you're putting it on, so it works really, really well in situations like this. Kind of along the same lines here, this is underneath my bathtub in my kids' bathroom, so it gets really gross kind of up in here in this seam area, and I'm just going to take this cleaner and put a really thin layer all the way down the side here. Same thing, I'm just gonna let this sit for a couple minutes. I'm gonna come back in with my toothbrush and scrub, and it just works really well in getting up underneath the grout line, making sure that everything is kind of good to go and out of there. The toothbrush definitely helps a lot. I cannot recommend this enough, making sure that you get everything kind of scrubbed in there. And of course this works well for this because it does contain bleach, so it is going to go ahead and get rid of any mold or anything that might be growing in here. This also works well for any sort of grout lines, like in these in your tile. It works amazing for that, for getting in between the tiles and getting all the gunk and grime and stuff out of there and turning black grout white again. I cannot recommend that enough. So this is what the grout line looks like now. You can see it's all white now and definitely a lot cleaner than what it was. just to give you guys what it looks like after I take the toothbrush and scrub it out. And then I just took a paper towel and wiped up all the excess toilet bowl cleaner and everything that was on the ledge here, but definitely way better than what it was. You can definitely do this around the base of your toilet too if that's something that gets really grimy as well.